It's The Big Show, and on this programme, I like to talk to my favourite people, and one of them is the man from Embarrassing Bodies. I love that show. Christian Jessen, how are you?
Oh, what a nice introduction. I'm well, thank you.
Really nice to talk to you, and the thing about you is you get to see everybody's private parts, don't you?
I do indeed, yes. Is that a good thing?
Well, I don't know, really. I mean, if they're attractive and they're gorgeous, yes, but then again, you get normal people like me. Nobody wants to have to go downstairs with me, do they?
If I'm honest with you, after about the first 1,000, the novelty kind of wears off. They all start to look the same, to be honest.
Is that adage true when they say that? Because, I mean, they are a bit different, aren't they?
No, it is true, believe you me. You know, I mean, I specialised in sexual health, so that's really what I do all day long. And yeah, they are kind of all the same, despite what we may think.
Hey, listen, it's lovely to talk to you, and this programme, Embarrassing Bodies, goes from strength to strength to strength. I can't stop watching it, but probably for all the wrong reasons. Thank you.
That's fine by me, you know, as long as you are watching it, and as long as if at the end of the hour you've learned just one or two little facts about your body, then I'm happy. You can look at all the willies you want to. It's fine.
Your job, then, what exactly are you? Are you a TV star or a doctor?
I'm a doctor. I always say that. People always ask me that. Now, the TV thing is just a sort of, I suppose, lucky accident that I'm rather enjoying. I don't suspect it'll last for too long. But I don't know. I've always thought, you know, when I trained, I always thought how bad communicators we doctors are. And a lot of those stuffy old consultants that I trained in were just incapable of relating to or explaining things nicely to their terrified patients. So the more I've done the TV, the more I've seen a kind of need for someone to explain stuff to the public and try and put them at their ease. So, you know, it's a role I now think is kind of quite valid, and I hope that I'll be able to keep on doing it, but we'll see.
The other thing about you we're going to get to in a bit is the fact that you're a sex symbol for the ladies. They think you're a nice bit of trouser, don't they?
Do they? I'm not sure. I'm adjusting to all this, put it that way. It's all a bit strange to me.
Well, you say that, but I notice on a couple of occasions you decide to get virtually naked on the programme. That's there for a reason, isn't it?
I have to set an example, don't I? You know, if they have to get naked in front of me, then it's only fair.
I'm going to try that with my local doctor at the weekend. I'll show you yours if you'll show me mine.
Yeah, quite, you know.
Let's start at the beginning then. How old are you now?
I am 33.
And that's quite young, isn't it, to be as qualified as you are?
It is quite young, yes. I'm kind of a baby doctor in those sorts of terms. Yeah, I am. I think, you know, I'm not talking at any great academic level, really. I'm talking about basic stuff that we should all know about, you know. So I think hopefully I'm still just about qualified to do that.
And do you still have a surgery? Are you still able to work as a practicing doctor?
Yeah, I do 2 days a week as a real doctor doing my real job. Although, you know, even that has changed quite dramatically since the telly, because either patients seek me out because they've seen me on the telly and they want to come and talk about all their weird, wonderful things, or they walk in and then look in horror that it's me and start looking around for TV cameras and completely clam up. So,
what made you want to do this for a living?
Ooh, I'll give you the answer that's going to really let you down now, and that is I didn't always want to do it. I actually secretly, when I was at school, I wanted to be a film director. I wanted to direct big blockbuster movies, but because I was academic and I could pass exams, it was kind of encouraged that I did something a little bit more worthy, like law or medicine. And I really liked sciences. I was good at biology, and you know, so my biology teacher sort of suggested medicine, and I thought about it, and I thought, okay, why not? You know, so it wasn't always an overriding passion of mine. Once I started it, I quite enjoyed it, and then I hated it, and then I started really enjoying it again, and now I love it. I'm very glad I chose it.
Is it a bit boring being you? Because, of course, I come in, I'm Mrs. Smedley, 72 years old with a cold. There's not much you can do for me. Is that the mundane nature of what you do as a practicing doctor?
Yes, is the truth. There's a huge amount of repetition. Yes, and obviously there's very common conditions that crop up all the time and you feel like you're giving the same advice over and over again. But then, of course, every now and again there's something weird and wonderful, or you help someone in a slightly different way. And that's sort of the reward. That's the nice bit of your job. And actually, you know, even a cold, Mrs. Smedley might have come in with a cold. It may be that it's not really the cold that she wants to talk to you about, and there's some other problem simmering away underneath. And if you can get to that and get her to open up about that and help her with that, then that's very satisfying.
Let's talk a bit serious now about the business of being a doctor. Do you have time these days to find out what's going on under the surface, or is it a case of get them in and out as quickly as you can?
Well, I'm really lucky, I have to say, because I only do private practice now. I can't get an NHS job because I'm only available 2 days a week because I do so much filming and telly. So I work for a private clinic, and we get you get longer with me, put it that way, so I do have more time. I think, NHS GPs are incredibly stretched, and patients almost have to be expert patients, in order to get the most out of their consultations. 10 minutes is really not enough, even for the most skilled and sensitive of doctors, to get out everything that you need to get out and to cover everything. I don't know how they do it.
It's interesting that during this time of austerity, they've said they're protecting the NHS. Is the NHS, in your opinion, and it is only your opinion, in a good place, or do you think we still need more investment?
I think the NHS is a brilliant thing, but I think it's an outdated concept now. I think it was it was an extremely successful, brilliant idea, but we've moved on. Medicine has become so much more expensive. Technology has moved on. New drugs are being developed all the time that will cost more and more and more, and there's no way possibly we can ever fund it. There's this sort of bottomless pit of want, but only a limited amount of money. So I think really somebody, and it's going to be a government that makes themselves extremely popular, and therefore it's probably never going to happen, but somebody has to put their foot down and go, right, we need to rethink this one. If it was me, if I was Prime Minister, what would I do? I would probably do something like charge for GP appointments. So maybe charge people on one-off appointments, say a £5 or a £10, and actually that would make a significant contribution to the funds. It would probably stop people going in with a cold or they bang their toe or something, and so you'd get rid of a lot of that stuff. But appointments would be a little bit more relevant, I think.
What about posh people though, who could afford to go in for nothing, and the little old lady who can't afford to come in when she's got a lump somewhere?
Yeah, well, that's the argument, isn't it? But at the end of the day, somebody has to make a decision somewhere, don't they? And I think, do you means test it? I think if you have chronic disease, if you have asthma, if you have something like that, then obviously you don't have to pay for every appointment because you have to go in every month anyway, and that wouldn't be fair. There's always going to be people who are never happy, but I think it's time to face the fact that, okay, it's not perfect anymore, the NHS. There are flaws, and perhaps we need to look at a slightly different model of doing things. Makes you very unpopular if you say that. But
all right. Well, we'll find out what they think. They can
wait for the letters that come in.
We're talking to Dr. Christian Jessen today. He's the big star of Embarrassing Bodies. We'll get back and talk about that programme next.